Two teams that have had a major title under their belt, but now we sit here once again trying to put a pin on where they belong in the Counter-Strike hierarchy. G2, absolutely chock-a-block full of legends. The same can be said for Virtus.pro here, standing on home soil for Katowice. They have made deep runs in the past. The Spodek is going to be watching every single game here in the group stage with their fingers crossed. They want the crowd here in Katowice are going to be desperate to see VP, that polar bear logo, on the stage. They can't get there without performing though, and I'm joined by our analysts to break this one down. G2 VP with Yanko and Chad. Gentlemen, I'm so confused now. The fact that this could have been like a barn burner of a game, and I have no idea what we can actually expect.
Yeah, obviously we had both of these teams in Kiev last week as well, best of 3 Swiss format, and VP's best performance was probably the loss against Mousesports out of everything that we've seen from them. And to be honest, you can't really expect much from them, especially at that tournament. But what I was hoping to happen was that they are just going to stay and practice, right, because they had, you know, the rooms, they have all the teams there, and maybe show us something at this tournament.
I mean, that's what they did, right? I remember we did check in.
We wanted to steal their practice room, but
yeah. Okay, I said check in. The reality is we tried to steal their practice room so we could play games, but they were still in it.
They were still in it. They were doing what we need them to do. Now, the question mark for me, more question marks, is the fact is, what is going on with this team? Did they bring Mihu in for a mental reset, or is he in to be a star player in this team?
A trial is the best word we've been given.
Yeah, but the thing is, you think there has to be other Polish players with star potential, right, to come into this roster. You normally, when you have someone come in, they're a star player. They have a big reason for coming in. He's not an in-game leader, so he's not going to change their approach to the game. He hasn't shown to be a star player thus far, obviously teething issues. And then you have the factor of, if it's just a mental reset, well, then we should have seen things out of the bat. They should have come out swinging. You know, it shouldn't be Bialy tweeting a picture of the Spodek Arena saying fingers crossed.
Sure. Yeah, if that's the kind of mindset they're in, then it's not prime, especially considering, you know, say 1 week ago, things were not in playoff form. They were not able to get there. The likes of G2, however, you know, were very capable of bossing it to the playoffs. And that's something that we do give a lot of credit to the French for being able to do. So in that regard, I guess a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah, they can get to the playoffs, but not much more than that. I mean, they haven't won a playoff series since DreamHack Masters Malmo, which is the tournament that they ended up winning. So basically a 6-month stretch where the so-called super team can't win a playoff series, which I think that's something people need to realize. You know, when we criticize these teams, it's based off of expectations and what they were created to be. G2 is not a team that's created to be top 8. That's a team that was created, financed, and being paid to be the best team in the world, and they're nowhere near that level. They gave us, you know, some glimpse of that at the major, and that was after, you know, the change. The Shox is going to be more of a star player, do his own thing, and the rest of the players are going to micromanage themselves instead of him doing it. And they look great in the groups and everything, the most dominant team. Playoffs come, they get knocked out by Cloud9, and it was even worse in Kiev last week.
I know you don't necessarily have the answers, Chad, otherwise you'd be making mad money in consultancy fees right now, but G2, Yanko's hit the nail on the head when it comes to the fact that this really was forged for one purpose only, and that was lifting trophies.
Yes.
It's clear that they haven't been delivering. Is there anything that just, you know, you feel you can easily identify as something that needs to be worked on, that a flaw, a weakness, a chink in their armor?
I think that the biggest thing was not having Shox as a star player, not setting him up to be the star of the team. He should be the star. He should be the #1 star, him and Kenny, right? That should be it. And then Apex is that 3rd star, and then MBK and Body having the performances here, there, and everywhere. They can move in that direction. Injury of Shox, you know, potentially forthcoming. That is something which they need to be able to do to be a consistent contender, right? That is what you want this team to be.
Yeah, but apparently what they've said as well is that Shox's injury isn't a hindrance now, it's going to be after the surgery. So now it's like not having a lot of effect, which makes you question their results even more, right? We got MBK over there with the Krieg and the AUG, like having a bit of fun for himself. Then you have the issue of Kenny S when he doesn't get rolling, when he has some, you know, misses a couple of shots. He's a very emotional guy, you know, sometimes that just snowballs out of control, and he doesn't have as much impact as we're all used to seeing. And obviously Shox has to be a focal piece of that. Apex had a great tournament in Kiev. When that happens, G2 usually wins the whole thing because he is the entry fragger, he opens things up, and that should just make the job a lot more easier for everyone else.
I just want to point out to everyone at home as the videos are coming up, the reason that we think, you know, that this team can be such a star-studded roster, Shox is the all-rounder star, can do everything. Apex is the entry fragger who finds, you know, a lot of space and momentum. Kenny S is probably, arguably, best AWPer in the world or top 3. You know, you can have that debate until the cows come home. The other 2 players are fantastic at being role players. If you had a structured in-game leader or a coach to set them up within those roles and then be flashy on top of that, that'd be fantastic. But their style is unorthodox. They go for force buys. They don't allow one of the best AWPers in the world to get an AWP. They go for things that are a little bit more random as opposed to structure. If they went to the structure side of things, we're going to see Nuke.
Finish your sentence, Chad.
I think... Okay. My sentence doesn't matter anymore because this is the only lifeline that VP, in my opinion, would have had in this game is playing Nuke of all maps.
Yeah, but it is the new Nuke, and it is the new VP, and G2 were one of the stronger teams on the map as well. And looking how things go, you can easily see this being a match of 2 CT sides, where you obviously give the edge to G2 because of their firepower.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And actually, you know what? I would have asked you how you think this one's going to play out.
Yeah.
Nuke, a spanner in the works. We did ask the crowd as well, our audience. We asked them, the guys watching at home, who they thought was going to take this one. It does seem to be a little bit of a lean towards the French. That was probably before they knew the map, though, because now Nuke does feel like that's just... You know how I said there's plenty of questions? We've just added an extra one, guys. New Nuke between VP and G2. When was the last time we even saw these guys play there?
Isn't there like 2 factors with VP? Like one is like don't give them Nuke, and then the other one is they always like play good in their hometown. Well, actually, they didn't play great last year at this event, so maybe that one's out the window.
G2 did float Nuke though into as the 3rd map in their game versus Mouse Sports over in Kiev. So they obviously have already over the last 2 weeks had it intention of playing it.
I've been at the hands of Kenny S's AWP on Yard on the old version of Nuke, and if he can get that up outside, then that's a factor VP are going to have a rough time dealing with.
Absolutely. Well, let's get this game underway. Nuke between G2, the Samurai, versus the Polar Bear. The old-time tale. Let's jump in then. G2, VP, and let's jump in with your casters.
Yeah, what a famous historical story that is. I used to love that book.
Yeah.
Big fan. Big fan.
Taught me a lot of life lessons, Lauren.
Yeah, you can break it down for us throughout this game, I can imagine. But what a great prospect this is. If, you know, it's Katowice, right? And as much as we hate this storyline consistently repeating through our ears, it's exciting to get Virtus.pro out there. But remember last year, I'm pretty sure they got grouped, if I'm not mistaken,
They
at
won
Katowice.
like their first map and lost like
And then
the next
lost
3.
everything else, right? And if you've ever wanted to see what true heartbreak looks like, go watch that back and see Taz's face. Like, I mean, it's an emotional time for these guys. They know what this means to their fans out here. So this is a great chance for them. And I have not seen the new Nuke that much either. I don't think anyone has really. So again, this is really exciting to get to see these 2 teams throw down on this.
Yeah, it's a wild ride, and look at this fast play towards ramp room. They threw a small fake in there, and Kenny's just hiding. There goes 8 or MBK, and Kenny has to do so much more, but he's not able to do it. Runs out of bullets. Snack's lurking into the upper bomb site as well. Can throw everything off for G2, and how does VP handle this? Do they keep going forward? Snacks has to pounce at some point. Apex with this door can have a strong defense, spamming into the smoke. Neo not crossing into the line of fire just yet. Closes the door. And now the retake is on. It's 3 on 4, and Body just picked up a kit. There's Shox getting started. 1 headshot onto Neo. Shox now at the windows. And Apex doing the work as well. They're peering into this bomb site, and Snacks and Pasha still not able to be found. Pasha patiently waiting, has that USP. There's the headshot. Can he get a follow-up? He needs to do it quick. He's out of bullets. There's one more player from G2 above him, and he cannot handle all these angles. Somehow surviving till the end. No kit, but I think Shox just got it with a triple kill.
Pretty close. He does indeed get it, but indeed, that is a nice start coming through for G2 there. Pretty close, but a round on the board is impeccable. The next challenge, of course, begins to try and consistently build up that funding so you get the money beside you. Still so vital, even on new Nuke, to get those Molotovs. Similar to what we saw in Inferno in a way, where you just need to be able to hinder those kind of fast, quick approaches, keep control, and then it swings to that CT side so drastically for favor.
Oh, I thought Snacks was going to have such a huge impact in that round. He was the one throwing the main fake up top and had just a smoke, just sat outside hut, was playing inside of it, got the entire bomb site to himself off the rotations, and just wasn't able to find success on the backstab. Kenny's outside with the FAMAS, waiting to spot across, and Pasha at the moment just walking, and they already have control of the main lobby. Kenny's brought down, but when does Shox pass? That should be an easy kill. Missed opportunity, though. He's given up his position. Pasha with the headshot.
Very uncharacteristic. And look at Apex as well. He's actually in a bit of a predicament, surrounded. They're losing on a lot of players here, G2. And when money is the big premium and you want to keep these rounds as clean as possible, that's not something you want to lose out on at this point.
Yeah, here's the other thing. Because of all the aggression and all the pushing and the weird positioning of the G2 players in this round, when they start falling, it's not exactly the clearest picture of how to rotate and how to get yourself in a position to kind of shore things up. Pasha has a great angle, is able to complete that kill. NBK baited into the commitment, and Pasha changes his mind halfway across running the gauntlet. And you feel like he should have been picked off by Kenny, but missed shots now for G2. Add that into the mix in the second round.
Very, very curious. The HP is low. Snax on 2 HP, Neo 56, Bialy 30, Pasha 26. There's not much, and they don't really have armor to play with either, so they don't have that longevity that they would otherwise. But Kenny S and Body are still very cautious about this, and they're worried, and I don't blame them. There's 20 seconds though, so they've got to kind of get moving. Neo is the one with the bomb. And now it has been given away. The game is kind of up here. Body does find Bialy around the back, and now he looks back for more. The bomb going to be planted by Neo, so that's safe and sound. But Kenny leaps on it, and Body's there to find Pasha. Is down to Neo and Snax to try and hold on to this. And should I just say Snax? Highly unlikely. With just the Glock. Does get spotted. They need more than magic, and it is Kenny to put him down. G2 keep 2 alive, get the kills, and get the defuse.
But boy, was that a hold your breath moment.
Just a little.
Body inside vents. They're able to kill one through the smoke. I think that was Neo trying to escape through the door. That's some just very heads up play. Some desperate play even, but a great round from VP. A lot of damage, another plant. And Pasha, I thought he did enough with that M4 to cause some damage onto the remaining players. Great recovery from G2. The op is out on Pasha. Other than that, it's a perfect buy. 4 AKs, full utility on everyone. Mihu's missing 1 flashbang, but you can excuse that. On the other side of things, 3 M4s. There's only 1 kit on Kenny, who's got a Fama still, and the MP9 on NBK.
Pasha feeling this? We can get that nice early pick. We are! That is brilliance! Pasha gonna strike quick and fast. Apex removed. That's the perfect beginning. No damage taken, no nothing given up for that. Just an absolute clear hit, run, and that's pretty much it. G2 now are gonna be reeling. Look at Snax.
Yeah, we're going to see these kinds of plays made by him. He loves that on Nuke. He was one of the main points. And with this position, if he stays alive in vents, he is effectively cutting off rotations. And it is kind of a weird concept in Nuke is a vertical map rather than horizontal. But, you know, this is the main point where you get between the bomb sites if you're G2. And Snax can cause so many issues, especially because it's not easy to clear him out of this position.
We all know that teams playing against Virtus.pro, the classic lineup, should I say at least. I don't know them in this form too well. Always the master of fakes, very hard to read. And when you've got players like Snax getting to those positions that make rotations so hard, that's where you see that real power coming in. But looks like Ramp's the next target of attention.
Which is perfect for G2. They have a nice crossfire setup here. Shocks to the right. Here's going to be the peak from NBK. They're going to try and chase him down. Neo clears it out, though. Shocks missing a couple more shots, and surely that's traded again. This is where Snax has the perfect positioning, and Pasha with the op misses one. But they still should have control of this bomb site. Body was all alone upper for that entire round. And that defense for G2, when you have a 2-man stack in ramp room, even though it's the right call, it gets so static. You don't have information. There's not any great rotations to do from there. And a good first win for VP off the back of that opening op.
2 teams in very different positions as well, especially coming into IEM here. Wondering how the young gun plays for Virtus.pro. It always feels up in the air, doesn't it, with these roster changes. Nothing official completely said about it, but Mihu's been incredible in, you know, always kind of in the shadow of Virtus.pro and all the other teams he's been in. So really want to see how far he can take this this sort of debut in front of this sort of crowd. That could be very exciting. But what a prospect of Pasha playing a big game too. But all that aside, it's Kenny S on the op. Another tantalizing prospect, as Henry G always does love to say. I do wonder if we're going to see that classic Kenny S here, if he can get into the groove of things.
I almost feel like he's going to have to here. There's an opening kill. Bialy just standing out in the open. It's an easy one for Kenny to get warmed up in on. Shocks is still down low, holding the bottom of stairs, just with an 8 out. Pasha slowly deciding how he wants to challenge it, waiting for the push. It's not coming. I've seen Shocks miss a couple ones early on, a couple that we normally see him hit. That's got to worry you if you're a G2 fan, but the stack at the upper bomb site has got to just... is so dangerous. Apex and Body close of Hut. NBK is behind him as well. Where does VP go from here with a man down? 50 seconds remaining and they still haven't chosen. Looks like they want to hit this bomb site, which could be so dangerous.
See if they fully commit to it. Flashes have gone in, a couple of bits and pieces put there. But Pasha's found Snacks in the meantime. He's really created space for this. The event looks like such a big way through now. You can see Snacks, he'll go there any day of the week. He just bullies his way through. It's MBK to hold the line. Beyond that, you're just waiting for Kenny to come back up and around. He does just in the nick of time to save his teammate MBK. Now, down to the 2v2. Kenny is up above. You can see the positions here unraveling, and oh my word, how... Mishu? To be fair, it didn't work, but it did. Neo did find one in the meantime, but this is ridiculous now. Kenny in the 1v1.
That's the bomb. That's the bomb as well. There's no time to plant. Kenny's just won this. What a brilliant shot on the Neo. That flank took way too long to come in for Mihu, and yeah, you can kind of forgive him for wanting to go up the ladder once he realizes Kenny knows what's coming next. But G2 is just so bailed out. Great round from Kenny. Phenomenal shots with the op, and obviously that last one is perfect.
A little bit spicy. 3-1. Virtus.pro money-wise, here, there, and everywhere. On the other side of things, we've got SMGs coming out. They want to farm up a few funds, or maybe MBK just wants that to be his new main weapon. You never know. He's you know, he's experimental. I appreciate it.
Oh, G2 get bailed out with that force buy as well. An op and 4 pistols. Those are the kind of force buys the Dust talked about. Well, Kenny's going to be out here with that AWP again. Smoke wall is up, spraying through. Snacks is brought down to 55. The op not landing anything quite yet. And Apex getting aggressive is going to wrap behind him. How quick do they want to take this? Bialy, got to be careful. Neo watching for a lobby crunch. And everyone from VP's made it down. So meanwhile, Apex with all this information, everyone else from G2 is going to start rotating into position.
I wonder, the timing could be awful as well. The positioning's great from Bialy. Aware that there was going to be play, and Mihu's found Shocks. Body now going to try and rotate. They're so well positioned to deny anyone getting towards that lower side. Pasha struck towards MBK, and it's just Kenny. Virtus.pro don't even need all the guns to make this look pretty compelling. Maybe Kenny can dig something out of this, but it's so well locked down. There's so many people in so many places there's no information on. And Pasha slowly building up, and there it is. A damn good round from Virtus.pro. When you watch this team on this map, it feels so isolated from what else you see from them. It always feels like if only they could have this sort of power sometimes in other maps.
Yeah, they have such a great knowledge of how to rotate across the map and how to attack, and it's so convincing when they do attack, which is one of the great parts about this team. And then on top of that, you throw in Snacks, one of the best players that we've ever had in CSGO, and operating within confusion and chaotic round. So you have a lot of ingredients to why VP should be good at this. And you know, Chad mentioned it as well. This seems to be the only lifeline Virtus.pro still has to be able to contend with the best teams in the world. So G2 giving it over to them is a huge risk. Even though they've been considered to be one of the better teams in this map, it is, you know, it seems to be the ingredient to beat VP is ban Nuke. And that's you can
it's
operate.
quite a simple one, really.
Yeah, right.
It's like
there's only one step.
Just don't feed them after midnight, and it's super easy. I mean, at this point at 3-2. They're still okay, but there's always that scary point on the CT side when your money breaks, right? It's like, how long does this T side run now go for?
And Kenny already bailed him out of that situation once with the AWP with a brilliant shot as time was running down, so we'll have to see if they can stabilize. Shocks and Apex investing into this. Everyone else keeping their money up, NBK and Kenny at 1,500. That's a hard reset.
See how long it plagues them going forward. There's still damage to be done. There's still guns that they could maybe get back into their hands, but it's not easy. And they're hyper aware of this by now. It's not like they're surprised that this can happen. So Smoke's getting ready. Putting a couple to place. G2 not getting an easy time of it just yet. Virtus.pro going through the motions.
And why not? Plenty of time to be patient. Not a whole lot of things that G2 can punish you with, as long as you're cautious. Shocks is out here behind the smokes as they just disappear. He's in the warehouse, and they're going to clear him out. Mihu, Bialy, they're here to trade kills. They look away. A missed shot. A missed opportunity. Let's tag Mihu. Again, a miss from Shocks.
Surprising. Shocks hasn't been, you know, like Shocks, right?
He has that wrist issue, right? He has the impending surgery coming up.
Yeah, so it might be like him just taking it easy. You don't know. You don't want to kind of chalk everything up to that, but it's certainly probably a factor to a degree. But Apex and Body, the last two standing. unable to really make much headway into this round, and as Apex falls, Body's now going to creep his way out, try and find someone to punish at least, but too many members surrounding him as Virtus.pro, showing their strength on this map and why it's still always going to be in the repertoire of things you just don't want to let them have.
Well, now you build onto it. They have complete economic control. They have all the utility they can need to do whatever they want, and they can take these rounds so slowly and so patiently, as we just saw, and pick you apart. So G2 looking like they really, really need to get this op on the board. It'll come out in the next round as that losing bonus builds up. Kenny's got 3,100 in the bank. Be able to have that next one. He's at 8-4. Next on his team is Shox and NBK, both with 3 kills. Pasha again. This is the pick he got in that first gun round. I think maybe he just got the signal that the pistols are still out for G2. He hears those bullets clank into the door.
Yeah, you can see them adjusting around very quickly, kind of putting Snacks to task over here, as he loves to be. This is kind of prime domain. Get out here, maybe get down towards vents. Just set him loose. Snacks is so good at that. But in the meantime, you can see where the bomb's going. Full ramp control for now. Feeling out the the stack or the play coming in from the CT side, which is mostly towards that upper side of things. 3 players now towards the bottom of the ramp, and still nothing there. They're so cautious as well. Like this entire way, they've showed absolute caution as Bialy does find Shox, and yeah, the entirety of this is pretty sparse of players.
Yeah, not really a whole lot G2 can do at this point. Let's see if he can get any guns away. There's a nice kill. That's not a gun that you really expect that to be salvaged. Nade comes in to end NBK, and Mihu's brought in a little bit low. So there is some pressure being applied by these remaining pistols, and actually there's Apex dropping straight down onto Mihu. Gotta be wondering how his teammates let that one slip.
And there's another. They're all just coming flying in like lemmings at this point, and eventually they will be found, but it does get a little bit worrying. It's like, I'm holding this angle. This is where things are scary, and then suddenly it's like, oh, there's just a wild Apex appearing next to me. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's smiling about it now, but certainly if he had died, it'd be
It would have been like that
it would have been
grimace
as
of,
funny.
cool. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
But for now, we do see the recovery, the resurgence of that orb. That's what we're excited for with Kenny S. Getting that back in his hands, see if maybe he can start making a bit of headway here. Because so far, Virtus.pro are looking quite good, looking quite settled. And actually, we have the double orb. NBK up on that, too. That's a fun one.
I was wondering if we were going to see that, because we did see him full save while some of his teammates bought up. A lot of utility being used by VP towards that upper bomb site early on, but not a whole lot of pressure. Snacks applying it. There goes NBK. Pasha does take some damage out of 20, and Mihu follows it up. That's both ops gone.
Massive.
2 shots, 0 kills, and big investment out of the picture.
God, that is absolutely huge. And there he goes. Following up again. Apex hits nothing, it seems. As Mihu just takes his time, lines it up, drops him down. Shox and Body, the last 2 alive, and up close and personal with Bialy. Snacks, who just dodges absolutely everything on the other side. Just shot around him somehow. But yeah, 5 alive, and that was a blink and you miss it sort of round.
I'm going to forget that round ever happened.
You're not a big
for
fan?
so many reasons.
Why don't... Give me the highlight reel.
It's just basically that last one,
It's
that last
lovely.
kill, the body Snacks thing.
It was nice. It was real nice.
Well, that hurts if you're G2. A double save for that round right there, and it's over so quickly. And it feels like VP didn't really do anything that tactical. That round was just everyone moving forward and getting kills.
Pretty much.
Mihu just not slowing down into the lower bomb site. And Shox not even aware he's exposed to that angle. Gets tagged up by Pasha. They're going to have to be worried about that play. That'll prey on their mind. Traded kills early on, but still just pistols for G2 to play with. No utility, no kits. Apex has armor, and that's about the happiest thing they've got.
Most happiness in their lives.
It's that, is the armor, yeah.
Well, gotta be saying as well, seeing Pasha playing well, it was always an exciting thing to see.
He's been so sick recently.
Exactly.
I mean, for most of last year as well.
Yeah, he really started to build back into it, right? It
We
was
still
like,
say it like it's such a surprise, but
he is kind of there now, I guess. Look, it's first game of group stage. I'm not saying anything actually. Look, it's Katowice. We've got to upset one group of fans.
well, Apex is in such a good position. If they don't read this, he can stop everything. Smoke on the door. Flashbangs and nades out, but they've actually just pulled the rotations. They want to go back to upper.
Look
All
at
Snacks.
Snacks.
Yep, this is what he does. Ooh, Pasha from behind is taken down by Shox with a deagle, a clever position of his own. But Apex is just out of the fight. He's rotating from that lower bomb site. He can't get involved. So it's all down to them to take some guns away at the end. Obviously, you'd love to keep the AWP away. It looks like Snax is in a perfect position to kind of get that weapon before the round ends. But he's got to find Shox if he wants that. He's ran away to the other side of the map, so never mind.
He has a scapade. Overall, though, Virtus.pro looking good at the moment. Wait and see a little bit more from G2. I want to see them try and handle it. But to be fair, the combo between Pasha and Mihu right now has been incredibly powerful. Like, he looks confident too. Like, it's not like he's scared at all. Then you got Snax playing brilliant positional play off the back of it, creating room towards the upper side. So good. And no guns will be removed. The AWP gets kept, gets picked up, dropped back over towards Pasha, and we do see Kenny back on his. But I mean, we've got to see more than that now from G2. We need to see these gun rounds looking a little bit more fought for, I guess. Double AWP this time with Shox.
Yeah, they've been picked off a couple times, which is obviously not ideal. They have to start winning some of the early engagements. I mean, some of these rounds, BP has won. Pasha's got a couple picks out the door. There was the one on NBK towards ramp, the follow-up on a Kenny. You need some of these weapons to start coming alive and getting you an advantage.
Yeah.
Pasha going to go for it again. This time it's going to be NBK with an M4, so not wanting to go through that smoke, was checking for a gap in it. It's not quite there. Snax doing his thing again as well, lurking through his smoke to attack the upper bomb site, and he's got free reign. It's only body there, and he's been solo in this upper bomb site quite a bit in this half. That's got to stop.
How does he do this so often as well? He's such a good player. Look at Apex. He probably sat there like, how have you just outread me? I've adjusted down here. Like, I mean, this is just great play coming out. Maybe call it a bit of luck as well. Like, whatever you want to do. It just seems to work so consistently, though. And now the problem is that Shox, NBK, and Apex are so locked out of this. They have so little step back in. This could be a good gateway to them at least getting some guns away and doing some damage. And Shox did find Bialy too, so I mean, there's a window of opportunity here, but it's fast closing.
I was going to say, they might actually go for it now. Those kills came out pretty quick, but NBK switched up to the AWP, which isn't great for the retake.
Yeah.
So likely just going to sit this one out and want to take more weapons away from VP at the end. But yeah, the big thing is it's not necessarily luck, it's just there's so many different ways that obviously that Snax has worked out how to attack this portion of the map. And now he's just shown variety because it just turns into a snowball effect, right? Like once he punishes you in one way and you move to stop that, he's going to adjust how he attacks the area. There goes one of the AWPs, there goes Apex with an AK-47, so it's just NBK who can survive. And I guess you'd call this a disaster.
Yeah. And if only we see this in other maps. That's what we're always wanting, isn't it?
The worst part about that is every upper Nuke player in the scene is just like, God damn it, that's another thing I'm gonna have to worry about moving forward. It's just like everyone is that's gonna come out from so many different players and teams now.
Yep. He is a bit of a trendsetter. And pause being called, and probably a good time for it too. You're starting to look down the barrel of a gun at this point. 3-7. Scoreline's looking a bit weary, but you can get a decent enough purchase going in this round. Not perfect by any margin, but you can get the Molotovs, you can get the utility, you can spread the wealth so that AWP gets put back over towards Shox. So there's a lot to be fought for this round for G2. This is ample opportunity to do it.
Well, here we go again. G2 hopefully found some solutions. Pep talk, perhaps. Get everyone a little bit more zoned in. Shock's gonna have his AWP towards ramp room. Looks like NBK and Body both inside the bomb site. And Kenny's gonna have his outside with Apex supporting in the mini garage. There's some return fire, doing some damage on a Pasha, but Snax, of course, right through the smoke.
I'm hitting my desk, and I mean...
I thought he was gonna grab NBK as well. It looked like he was about a half second away from firing that.
It's like nothing's stopping him, but it is a 4v4 finally, so they really keep themselves in this one, G2. You've got Shox sat towards ramp. Last time MBK got kind of swept aside. We'll see if he fares any better. Pasha's not too far either. Neo might bait the shot here or might just flash him in. There is good work from Shox, not even going to hesitate for a moment. A quickening of pace, though, coming up from Virtus.pro. They're chasing pretty hard on this. And Neo expects the rotation from Kenny. Molotovs him out of position, so forcing him away. 4 HP does a lot of damage on that. And Neo actually wants to chase that.
Yeah, why not? Kenny wouldn't expect it. Of course he does, though. He did jump out of the flames and spin towards outside and find a kill onto Bialy. So now the kind of goals in this round for VP changes. It's no longer necessarily win, as you've lost so many players. It's take weapons away, force rebuys, keep the money low. do some kind of damage, and Neo's going to go right through the smoke. Comes out on the other side. I think Kenny spotted that. Yep, and he swings out a little bit wider, and Neo goes down. MBK on top of the hut. Much better defense from G2 that round. They keep 4 players up.
Yeah, very well needed to keep that money maybe in the right place for a while. It feels like that's been a bit of a tricky one.
Look for VP to punish something else faster, though. I mean, the reason why Shock's, like, by the way, like, there are operators who can hold their nerve and hold their shot on the jumping player, but that's such a narrow angle that there's no chance of being punished by that jumping player from Shock. So we can just hold it and wait for the opera to come out. I would expect VP to do something fast-paced this round, especially considering they just saw a round in which 2 players were focused on door itself at the start.
Okay.
So VP may be saying, where can we attack? Where's that second player coming from? It was MBK. Where can we hit that's going to allow us to punish the fact that they're putting so many resources on just one choke point?
The power of dealing with snacks.
Yeah, essentially.
So you pulled 2 players over. Good work.
He's not even like doing that great in terms of score. You can see
No,
there's 7 and 4, but it's just the impact.
Positioning
Yeah,
and
and how
everything else,
important
yeah.
those kills are. Like if Snacks is going to be playing like that and getting 1 kill every time he sneaks through door, Body can't be in the upper bomb site alone, so all of a sudden it restricts the different defensive plays you can bring out.
Well, let's see what Virtus.pro coming with. There was that little timeout there, so there's been some consideration. The smoke wall towards the outside area, but there's a bit of a gap, it looked like, for a couple of seconds where Kenny could see through it, but he hasn't got the full information as to what's going on. But Shock's finding me, who's perfect. Big beginning here for G2. Kind of struggling themselves to get something building early, but that's what you want. And a follow-up as well. The Ops are singing for the French side. Snacks goes down as well, leaving just Neo, Bialy, and Pasha. But look at the room Neo's found here too. He's getting some decent ground. I'm not sure if Apex is even aware this could be a possibility. He is now. What on earth is this sort of round here? Neo's just tried to charge in, do what he can, but I think the rest of his team are now going to play catch-up and might be able to stop the defuse. They have done. This is kind of offset things a little bit, like a hit squad now running around. I don't know if they can find the rest, but they're certainly giving it a good go.
They have a chance. There's no smoke. There is a Molotov on Bialy as well. You have to imagine he has it planned for that kind of a planned spot. Here comes the retake. That needs to be a win. It's not. Shock's recovering with the AWP. It's just Pasha left with his own. Kenny and Shock's aren't able to attack. There's the door open. There's the shot, but it's not the diffuser. And now Kenny's got him locked in. Pasha's being too slow. It is going to be a win for G2. There was a chance, though. If Neo kills Apex there, I think they might just win that round. That was pretty clever. I was able to get down there.
How did he get down there?
I'm not entirely sure.
But
was
it
clever,
was
though.
clever.
Yeah, it was good.
However he did it,
Yeah.
good moves.
I mean, I'm assuming he just came straight from outside, to be honest with you.
I guess. I just didn't see him when like Pasha was out there.
Yeah.
So I was kind of confused. I think everyone was kind of confused that he made it down to that point. That was
Once they took so many losses, he might have just said, screw it, I'm
I'll
just going
do
to
what
run
I
all the
can,
way
yeah.
in, yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely.
We call it the Rambo play.
John Rambo.
He's a legend in his own.
Pasha looking outside this time. No one really wants to challenge it, but look how many players dedicated towards this kind of upper side right now. Snacks, what a pain in the arse of a player that you've done this to. Apex, Body, MBK's normally over here as well at one point. He might have peeled back off again, but for now they wait and they see if a wild Snacks might appear through that door anytime soon.
Well, here comes the hit. This time it's going to be through Mini. They can actually make that turn. No, they go into Warehouse to clear it out. Good smoke from Apex as well. They just turtled up inside the bomb sites. No one outside. This in its own right can be a very tough defense to crack for VP, especially because they don't have a whole lot of utility left. They do have 2 Molotovs, some flashbangs. If they gain control above ladder, it could be possible. They'll have to do it quietly, and it looks like they might have to come up the ladder in order to do it, which can make NBK such a strong position.
38 seconds now remaining. Virtus.pro in a really unique position. Mihu's got quite far now. Takes a shot on the first go. Does find Kenny S, doesn't wait for that. Goes straight down. Down ramp they head as Neo joins through Secret. MBK has a little look down, doesn't see much. But Shock's already positioning very quickly. Now planted, Pasha's found MBK, Mihu towards Apex. It's going pretty well right now for Virtus.pro, and they shut the book on them. They found so much room in that map somehow. With like 5 players alive on the other side, they're able to worm their way around so easily.
I'm not sure how that communication didn't come out to Kenny, that either outside wasn't being watched, or maybe Kenny just kind of forgot to check his flank. Maybe it was down to timing. That's too easy for VP, though. You can't walk around the entire outside of the map without being spotted once. So G2 playing that turtle defense, playing it two-turtled.
Whoa,
8 to 5.
That's a phrase.
It's a phrase and a half, isn't it?
All right, well, let's see if they're two-turtled again. Oh, really
It
rolls
doesn't
off
have
the
to
tongue.
be a thing.
No, it does. Pasha this time vying for attention through that squeaky door, but no one's really having it right now. They're kind of leaving that very much alone. MBK up close and personal. Shock's doing the same outside, so a lot more attentive this time from G2. A lot closer by keeping tabs on what Virtus.pro are up to.
Pasha's going to start pressuring Ramp Room on his own, which is quite nice to see. A lot of times Ramp Room largely gets ignored. He's had success here. Oh, what an adjustment, and the head of NBK is off.
Oh, that was nasty. But not without reply, obviously. Shox gets played in here, and you can see the discipline on this man. Just playing to see if there's more. He does find Mihu all alone. We're down to the 3v3, but that bomb's not moving. And there's not much ground gained here. Snax has to go get that one back and try and find where the rest are. Pasha's in an interesting spot. Might be able to create more chances. And he's doing that with sheer brute force. This man's on a mission, and it's not done just yet. Body might be the next to fall. No, he takes the fight while he can. Doesn't want to allow Pasha to start building into this. Not too subtle up the ladder. And Snax says, that's my territory. What on earth are you doing here? And now just Kenny remains.
Oh, surely this is impossible. Such low HP. Op in his hands. Snax inside the bomb site, grabbing the information. He's not going to present himself, even with such a difficult shot. Not to Kenny. And Kenny starts walking up, and yeah, it's too much to look for. There he goes, 9 to 5. Some frustration coming out, and Pasha just makes the map his. This is a great kill, but then he gets into this is kind of what you see from everyone on Virtus.pro on this map, is more confidence to just take more ground with every little inch they're given. And when you have an Opper, you know, in kind of open spaces, and if you're, you know, when the defense has to rotate to find out where he is and to try and get into good position, that's when those Oppers can really thrive. I mean, that was just great play from Pasha. Just being sneaky.
I like Snax's purchase here. It's he's on a lot of money and he's opted for this.
Vent play. Classic.
The crocodile right now. And now he waits, lurking in the swamp of smoke.
Is there a player coming through Squeaky Door to find him? I don't know how Apex got
So they've
here.
switched around? Oh, this is very odd. This is one of those horrible like smoke exchanges where you don't see each other. No one knows what's happened. Snax is in a weird kind of alone spot, but Pasha, he's so good right now as well. MBK's just got picked up trying to push up. Keeping this competitive, to be honest. Otherwise, that would have been down to very few players remaining for Virtus.pro. Snax, well, I mean, he's up to something out here. Bialy's gone and found Shock, so that's going to open up another avenue of approach. Spots out a player, that being Kenny S doesn't win it, though. It's 2 players remaining for VP. I don't know what they're going to do with them.
It's just so weird. It's so tough for Snax because he's in such a good spot that it's just like if G2 ever comes in, oh, that's a missed shot. That would have been a great opportunity. And Snax, this is where he's going to try and make that shotgun sing. Kenny has no idea at the moment, but I mean, at some point, he's going to get the alert inside of his head. It's just now. That's a great shot, though. That's like a Doom shot.
It reminds me of like Left 4 Dead, like that sound to it, you know what I mean? But it was an interesting way to kind of close that one out. I'm not sold, what can I say? The shotgun at the end, but prior to that moment, he'd been playing exceptionally well. There's no way to take that away from him. Huge, huge performance, obviously. And going forward, I don't know what to expect from this matchup. It looks like Virtus.pro are certainly looking competitive here, but G2, they are nowhere near out of this.
Yeah, and we'll see how it comes when we get it back from the break. Stay tuned.
Intel Extreme Masters.
G2 might have made the biggest mistake thus far, allowing Virtus.pro the chance to play on Nuke and set themselves up for what could be a rather good tournament. We'll see if that actually does come through. It's 6-9 currently. VP do hold the lead, but that is certainly not the end of this story. G2 can still change so much here.
It'll be interesting to see the CT side, obviously, for Virtus.pro as well. I mean, this is not a team that really showed a whole lot of promise coming into this. Certainly, they on this T side of Nuke, they looked like a scary Virtus.pro, which was quite nice. Pasha with a great half, 16-10. Going head-to-head with the one of the best hoppers in the world. Kenny S was 15-11. Pistol round going live now, though. Kit and nade on Bialy. What does G2 plan to do here? They've got 5 armor, so it's got to be strength. It starts out with Apex. They've gotten down vents. That's step 1. Can they actually take over this lower bomb site? There is presence here at ramp room, but Mihu walks right into it. And Bialy's forced back, and I don't think Virtus.pro can get into this one.
No, they've just been completely shunned away, haven't they? Neo, Bialy, and Pasha kind of left reeling off the back of that. So much power and sheer just grit and determination from G2 coming out in this. Shocks to find one. Leaves Bialy and Pasha very much alone here. And Bialy's head gets removed, leaving just Pasha alive. It's a fight, but not for much.
Well, G2 did something good in that little halftime break. They talked some things over. They came out swinging, didn't they? Yeah, they just hitting headshots. Drive-bys all over the place.
Hey, why not? If it gets you winning games, G2, that's fine. Just bang them out. Well, for now, we have 3 purchases coming in. Let's see what we get. So, rifles galore, MBK on the MAC-10. We've got the Galil coming through, and then on the other side, upgraded pistols, a scout for Pasha, so that's going to be exciting.
I don't know if I like this. Big risk for VP with implications into the gun rounds. There's a nice shot onto Kenny. Scout brings him down to 15. Pasha wants to get aggressive behind it. Snacks didn't find that shot with the Deagle, and Shocks is up on the roof. He gets tagged as well, so one shot from this Deagle. Unfortunately, you can only see the head. Shocks is keeping himself at a very nice range. Snacks gonna have to transfer over to that Scout. They've done some damage. There's 2 softened up players that could be converted into multi-kills later on.
You can see that G2 had to hit the brakes slightly. Just slow it down a little bit because, you know, as you said, the more you get, tagged up in this, the more deadly that P250, the CZ, the Deagle, it all starts to look a little bit more and more worrying. But Snacks gets removed, but now, what is going on? Someone's just fired up G2. They are starting to land these shots and just push Virtus.pro out of the way for now. Bialy and Neo can still do damage, but maybe winning this round is just not looking all that viable right now.
It's really not. Well, that would have been great if they could have converted some of those, but they will get the punish. Not only losing the round, but a depleted economy moving forward. So they're going to be missing some nades. Neo would love to just get a weapon right at the end. He does get the kill, and it looks like G2's hot on his heels, so he's got to bail out. He's going to go to the upper bomb site. 19 HP. He can't stay here. He's got to keep trying to run and get away from that blast radius. I think he might have just found a way out, and he's just made it happen. So he's going to head out towards T-spawn. There's no one even close by for G2. I think they thought that upper bomb site would be the last place he would run off to.
Smooth moves from Neo. Just gets out somehow. Just
Fair play.
No worries. All right, so he's got himself a rifle. All the others should be staying alive. They are good. Right, so G2 get this one back. And you were saying the repercussions of investing even lightly into these rounds. So I say lightly. There was a decent investment from Virtus.pro in this round. There was a lot of upgrades, a lot of bits and pieces. The Kaneko forward, because you want that full economy in this sort of map, especially. You want those Molotovs. You want everything beside you. So it looks like we have a little bit of chat going on. Anything fun? No.
Houdini. Called him Houdini.
Houdini. Fair enough. I agree.
Most famous of the escape artists. He's the only one I know.
Yeah.
I was hoping you wouldn't follow up on that.
No. I'll leave you to it. Kenny, though, going to just power on forward. He knows that it's against rather soft targets in comparison to usual. Farm up that money. Make a little more. Get that, or not such a daunting investment.
Well, the AK is up top. You could be able to stop them from getting towards top ladder, but not a great chance of turning the round on its head. There's a good kill. Cleans up Bialy's frag, and G2 now has the information. Apex out in the open. Neo needs to win this if they want a chance, but through the wall, Apex is going to finish it and see the body fall through the hole. That was grim. Snacks Gonna push forward. Actually, the bomb is down. He doesn't know that, but they're gonna have to go back forward. Body's checking it, doing his due diligence. And yeah, G2 players seem much more focused going into this second half. 9-9, it's all tied up, and here comes the buy from VP.
Well, we all know if depending on which way this goes, this can be very, very brutal for G2 going forward. Or Virtus.pro are...
Just keep watching. It's going to come towards the end. Yep. I like that.
Yeah.
That was just kind of cool.
Why?
It was just a cool effect at the end of it.
What, ragdolls?
Yeah, but like you shot him up top, the body fell towards the bottom.
Sadistic creature, aren't you? It's all gone wrong
It
over
was
these years.
That'll be good for a frag movie. You put some Linkin Park to that.
Okay. I just see it in black and white now, like slow-mo falling. It's like
That's gonna be great.
Evanescence or something
Yep.
terrible. Got it. Got it! If anyone wants to get Fraps out and make that happen again with a nice watermark really present, that'd be my jam. But Neo somehow found MBK. I'm not sure where that was. It was through a wall, so I mean, he's upset someone in this situation. I might just be clipping the corner a little bit, but for now, Neo's got aggressive, and Virtus.pro have the upper hand. No rushes, no aggression can really be exuded this time, at least early from G2, due to the fact there was actual Molotovs and flashes and nades to slow them down, and Snacks winning out against Apex means huge control still gained towards this outside area, and they just about comes past, but Pasha's there to help out. It shocks and body to try... Did Pasha just land on his head or next to him?
I think next to him. Snacks is watching for this, but he's such low HP, and Shocks, he's going to recover in time, and Pasha's around the box. He's trying to figure out where Shocks went. Now he's got the information, so this is a very weird round. Shocks is going to try and sneak back into cover. Body on the other side of the map, though, dropping in towards Ven, is going to get taken out. It's all Shocks, tapping away long range. There's the laser beam. Takes out Pasha. And heads up. Doesn't have the bomb. He's got to go find it. There's 20 seconds left, and 3 VP players. I think Virtus.pro is going to be taking this first round, or fourth round. First gun round.
They certainly will do. Mihu there in the back, just coming around, making sure Shocks wasn't up to anything, but interesting plays coming out so far. Virtus.pro, I am curious how Neo got that first one, but for now, all I know is that Virtus.pro do get themselves kind of kicking in the right direction. G2 know this now. It's kind of hard to get back into unless they kind of break it really quick.
That was like a really dangerous round, though, for VPs because they were low on nades. They absolutely had to win that first one. Now they can buy some stuff up behind it. They've got a few more kids to work with. They've got some Molotovs. They got some smokes. They have the op on Pasha, so they really upgrade what G2 is going to have to face. There's the short wall. Body and Apex allows them to cross to the red box. Shocks is up top as well. Snacks is out here. The AWP on Pasha is rotating between ladder and ramp room. And the rest of the wall is completed. There's G2 making their first progress towards the lower bomb site.
So far, so good. On the other side's Bialy. He's waiting for those players to kind of crest around the corner. Flash comes in, turns it. They're obviously not aware he's in this sort of spot, but a little bit of pre-fire. You can actually spam through that sign, and you can spam through other people's bodies as well, but Bialy to only find one. Body obviously coming back into it, leaving it in a 4v4, but also going to kind of mean that Virtus.pro have to move around now. They're aware that there's players working their way through. Which
is frightening because the other 3 players for G2 are actually up top. They're outside. They're not even trying to get to this lower bomb site. So if Body causes enough of a distraction and forces enough rotations, that upper bomb site all of a sudden is going to be wide open. Mihu's already rotated to lower. Pasha is watching ramp room. Neo's the only one up top, and Snacks is a far way off. So it's Neo versus the world when they eventually do pinch this bomb site. And actually, it looks like, fortunately, he won't have to deal with that. The rest of G2 is going to head outside, meet up to go lower. 30 seconds left. This is not an easy call to make, and there's not a lot of time to execute it.
No, and they are off. You can see they've got their running shoes on and they're getting there as fast as they can, but I think Virtus.pro are kind of catching up to this idea as well. Body's in a good position to deny the rotations coming through to try and hinder that plant, but for now, it's all good until then. Stacks stops MBK, but Kenny comes back through. It's down to the 3v2 with the bomb, struggling to be planted for free, but it does eventually go down, but Pasha is putting up the fight of his life. 2 kills already. The nade, so close, but so far. Body stays alive, claiming his second kill that round, but more importantly, the final one, and gets G2 back in this game 10-10.
Yeah, that's a huge response. Much needed from G2. Instant headshot by Body. Pasha knew he had him trapped somewhere in that smoke, but couldn't find him at the end. Virtus.pro just caught on a little bit too late, and obviously Mihu, you expected he needed to get at least one there to really help him out by a little bit more time. It's not going to happen in VP. Back onto the pistols. Really interesting tactic that time from G2. Basically, the attacking force was just 2 players to kind of figure out where exactly they wanted to go. Nice shot from Kenny. A near miss onto Mihu. He's all alone again, this time with just a perception. Watch there directly to his right. That makes him bail out. The great cover from Kenny, and Body eventually does recover. That's one of those there, like your whole body jumps a little bit.
It's nothing like seeing the embodiment of panic in a player at times. Snacks and Neo trying to salvage something from this round. Neo, peekaboo. MBK doesn't like that game. It's just down to Snacks now to try and maybe make this costly or get some guns, or maybe get one for himself would be perfect. But with a minute on the board, it's quite unlikely. For now, we'll see what he can do going forward. And looking at G2, the T side's starting to get there. It's starting to look a little scary. They're starting to pull some moves, which is always daunting to see. Maybe it's not going to be that, why would you give Virtus.pro Nuke? I mean, G2, we know they're good at it. That's never been in question. It's like, can you, is it worth the risk is always the point.
And I still say it's not, even if G2 end up winning this game, because you saw the elements. Remember, there was a miraculous round in that first half where Kenny gets that shot onto the player dropping vents with the bomb very early on, and if he doesn't hit that shot, that round is won likely by VP, and then all of a sudden you're looking at a much different half where G2 might not be able to get into it. Same situation Virtus.pro is facing right now. That's why we see this timeout coming from the Polish side, as they have a tough decision to make here. If they want to invest in this round, try and fight for 11-11, risk their economy for the rest of the half, or they're going to save one more and fight back from what's likely to be 10-12. It seems like they've gone with the latter.
And now CZs. A lot of smokes coming out.
Delay tactics, drop them in the choke points. Also maybe kind of mask the idea. I mean, they're going to fire some bullets, so that the fact that they're kind of saving will be given up, but could worry G2 at least initially help slow them down.
Yeah. And for now, we see a lot of players looking towards getting that outside control going. Apex, Kenny S shocks all out towards it. MBK looking towards lobby and Body toward ramp. And just on the other side of these smokes, a lot of players are waiting, trying to find those little angles that aren't being checked in the little routes so they can maybe find a way through. And Pasha, the headline star of this game, at least for Virtus.pro, gonna claim the first. MBK goes quite low, but actually does find Neo in the end, so he'll stave off the wolves. But looking elsewhere, we're down to a 4v4 here.
He's actually backed away from the bomb. That's a great kill from Pasha. And all of a sudden, this is looking so scary. Shox is taking huge damage.
What on earth is this? Miu's there as well.
This is incredible stuff. This is really nice from VP to turn this around. Shox has to make something happen, but he's got no HP to get into fights, and they've now lost the bomb. I don't think Pasha's going to find it just because it's on the other side of that wall. But still, this is so tough. And now you put Kenny in a position with the AWP on Nuke. So many angles to clear, ladders to go up. It's going to be tough for him to find or create anything. He needs the space made by Shox, who doesn't have the HP to do it.
And to add to all of that, 30 seconds. Just around this corner is the man who's been a monster, is Pasha again to find Shox. It's just Kenny, 20 seconds left. You're not going to get anything out of this now.
Yeah, Pasha with a triple kill, picks up the AK-47 off the first kill and adds 2 more onto it. That's nuts.
He's having a huge game, to be fair.
He really is. We touched on it earlier that he's been incredible for VP. He's at 23 and 16, which is, I mean, he's the one who put out the tweet. Was it that he said something like, you know, if I can't step it up, I'm just going to stop playing? And I was scratching my head when I saw it. I was like, but he's been playing very good lately. Obviously, team results haven't been there, but the individual ones have been. So 11-11, and that risk that VP was probably considering is looking very good at the moment that they didn't take it, and now they have plenty of money. Even behind this, they've got Mihu still at 4,400, Snacks is at 3,600, Bialy at 1,100. Pasha's obviously low. He dropped that AK-47 over to either Mihu or Snacks and picks up an op for himself.
Okay, see if this is the shutdown. G2 can certainly keep this one up. Then we're looking all right. Oh, Pasha holding his nerve. He's actually chasing on this too. Apex though finds so much room to work. That's an error if I've ever seen one. Bialy gets picked up and there's no reply. There's nothing that can be done. Looks like an execution was going to come down from above from Pasha, but he can't do it. Apex moves closer And this is deadly, deadly territory. Apex is hungry for the kill. And the Predator, he is. He already finds one.
Pasha struggling with swinging his mouse down. Here's Snacks with the pounce. Grabs one, grabs a second. Somehow readjusts into it. And Neo has no idea what's going on. And there it is, G2. Virtus.pro, they're going to have to buy up into this next round, I think, because they have the money to do it, but they have to be worried about outside because G2 that round just rushed it. Apex and Kenny, not scared of anything. Virtus.pro really, outside of Snacks lurking in Warehouse, they haven't really put a whole lot of presence out there, including that up from Pasha, playing it so far back, who was lucky to get away with his life in the first shot from Kenny. But again, all that magical round, Virtus.pro gained themselves such a great chance, and they've just let it slip away.
Yep. Now, they're in the other, you know, it swings and roundabouts on this map, it feels, and it's so clear. 12 to 11. G2 now get a little bit more control building in there, where they're starting to get a read, starting to get a little bit more money behind them too. On the other side, still a little bit of cash floating around for Virtus.pro, but what do you want to go for? What do you want to do with it? Not everyone's got the cash, so again, you've got to be quite smart about this, as, you know, cash rules everything around this place. So you've got the Mac 10 coming out for Shocks. It's farm time.
Yeah, no, I mean, even multiple players just staying on the USPs. Pasha down to 1,400, Neo at 1,300. They're not going to be sitting with great buys, and Pasha's been phenomenal with the AWP outside of that previous round, struggling to find Apex, but gotta be worried about that into the next gun round. And again, look how fast they're taking it. Kenny and Apex, just this two-man duo, and it's basically, you know, one of the best operas in the world, one of the best entry fraggers in the world. So it's not an easy pairing to deal with, but you do eventually have to deal with it, because look how much ground and map control they have and information they've gained. This is exactly what happened during the last round.
Yeah, there's a stack for the CTs, obviously, but it's just a switch up of places, it looks like right now. Body's the one with the bomb, so he'll eventually have to get there, but Nuke is still worrying. You still have to be very, very attentive and careful wherever you go. Those pistols can do so much work. P250s can just absolutely tear people apart. So right now you can see a little bit of caution. Obviously, G2 are aware of what Virtus.pro can do to them if they don't take this too seriously. Partial before, of course, that 3K. Marvelous.
It's all down to timing as well. Neo trying to push in. Shocks is going to get caught from behind. It's just a Mac 10 though. It's not the AK-47 that Pasha salvaged last time with Omihu. He grabs one as well. Snacks coming up the vents, but Apex is ready this time. That should shut things down. Bialy is next up. What kills can he grab, if any? I think Apex can't finish it off.
Calm under pressure. The play from up above from Apex then really helping them out, keeping them safe while they're trying to get around. And 13 to 11, Virtus.pro can purchase here, but on the other side of things, G2 starting to kind of chip their way towards that 16, really start pushing things for themselves. Got the AWPs coming out, they got a little bit of everything, and Shock's actually going for this one, so picking that up over Kenny right now.
Might have a good spawn. Might want to change up how they attack outside as Kenny's going in that direction, and now you see Virtus.pro, all the bodies there. They've got Snacks, Bialy, and Neo here to shut this down. They need to do it successfully. There's the first kill. Kenny's still not found. That red box, and Virtus.pro still patiently waiting. Now Kenny's giving it up, looking behind him. He's got a teammate coming on top of the silo. That could be the saving grace, and they still haven't found Snacks. NBK, is he being held at bay? He's dinked, excuse me, and there's Snacks one more time. Kenny falls. Great adjustment on the defense for VP.
Yeah, Snacks playing this really well. I like the crossfire set up towards the outside area. It's really helped them play back into this. MBK, though, unravels it so well. It's down to a 3v3 now. A huge advantage been torn away from Virtus.pro. And MBK's Shocks and Body stand tall and look for the next opportunity, but where do they take themselves here? Body's the one with the bomb. Shocks in the way a little bit, looking toward ramp here. No one's really adjusted across just yet. You've got Mihu over there, but no other support, so the young gun's got to hold it all together if they do go for that hit. And we wait and see. Shock's going to walk his way in. Good work on the first. Decapitates him. Neo's there towards MBK, and he holds the ramp play all by himself. No support needed, and it's certainly not over yet. This is a very tense game between these two now.
Yeah, it really is. That was very close. What is the response from G2? Now that VP shows they're willing to put a lot of bodies outside, do they change something? That's not good. That makes everyone hurt a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Oh, feels. Way to go, production. Like, oh, what sort of mood are you guys in? Right, we get the fun gun from NBK. I love a bit of this. I absolutely love a bit of it.
Well, you would. You're
Well,
COD at heart.
Yeah, but we didn't use that. Played the real COD.
Oh, excuse me.
Know your history, Jason. God.
Well,
Dirty casual. Playing
yeah.
games with ACOGs in it and such. Ugh.
Here they are again. Body and Apex have made great gains outside.
They seem to do this a lot, and it looks like this time it's a little different though. Look at Snacks, look at Bialy. They're aware that this has been kind of open to it. You can see how they've adjusted. You've got Snacks now playing back where they took over Paul. We saw Apex sat on the forklift in spawn. So Snacks this time maybe aware this has been a possibility, but look at this upper crunch. 3 players coming in. 2 through the hut as well. Neo is in real trouble. Can he bail himself out of it? Posh is there to help him, and MBK shows us what it's made of. The nade does even better though. And now we're down to 3. Trying to play back into this. No plant just yet. And the bomb goes loose. Snacks strikes at the right time, but he can't follow it up. It's Apex coming through, securing this one, and then the nail in the coffin being shocked to find Bialy as they pour back in.
Yeah, now you can see why outside is such a tough place to defend and why it's so important, because this time they go passive. This time Snack says, okay, I'll just use an off angle back essentially at CT spawn, be able to punish them if they're trying to wrap around the map like we've seen them do 2 or 3 times throughout this half, and they just turn in towards mini, and you only have 1 or 2 players in there who are essentially at a disadvantage. Neo is having to use all of his utility just so he doesn't get wrapped upon, and he's got too many opponents to worry about. VP stumbles. This outside portion of the map has not been kind to them, and they haven't really given it the love it deserves.
Oh. You almost hate dying to that gun as well. You see the icon, you hear it, it's like, great.
Probably didn't even know what gun it was when he first heard it.
Probably not, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. Bialy's managed to kind of get a little close to comfort, but doesn't seem to bother Kenny S with Neo being that close, so I mean, no worries. Bomb, still in the hands of Kenny S. They're not in a massive hurry here, just taking their time, going through the players, trying to not lose out on too many guns or make any sloppy mistakes happen, really. At this point, you're down to Mihu and Bialy, so I don't see them getting too much, because like, look at these spots. Like, Body's waiting for this. Bialy's considering it. If he goes up there, you'll get that lovely like sound of the bodies falling on the floor again, like the drowning pool song that you love.
Yep. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Do you have to take the pause when you do this?
The big thing is well for
I need to go.
is that I mean, because all those kills came out for G2 so early on, you know, G2 hits the pause button, so he does the same, because no reason to overextend. Like, see if you can have something tricky, someone walk by without checking a corner. But yeah, this is disaster now for Virtus.pro. They haven't been able to string rounds together at all this half. They've won 3, and it's been truncated essentially. It's, you know, Virtus.pro wins a round, G2 wins 2, and then VP wins another one. And that's just, you know, the save that comes out, just that standard save there in that weird buy scenario. That's what happens if you can't string them together. So it shows they know how to react and adapt, just not, you know, just not enough.
Not enough.
They're reacting, I guess, is the best way to do it to what G2 is doing, instead of kind of initiating or like being the ones to impose their will on the map, being the ones to kind of bring the action and take the fights that they want. They're having to stop G2 instead.
So this is a little scary now, because if you're Virtus.pro, there is always additional pressure when it comes to these events, and you don't want to start, you know, given, let's put it this way, you're on a map where you can actually really compete. You're still incredibly competitive. Pasha's having a big game. Things are looking up. This is going to be a tough one again. You know, you can see the emotion on their faces when the group stage don't start as they should. But it's still, you know, it's only the first game. There is other opportunities ahead, but again, for G2, what a great beginning. You're taking down the Giants in their own cave almost, as Neo tries to stop the hit, but MBK has none of it. Wonders where the next bit of pressure comes from is Bialy up above, but Kenny can adjust so well. This guy's so multiversed, and all of this ducks his head down, looks away for a second. The last man standing will be Pasha. This looks like it is it, and it is. Apex to close down, and it's a bit of a heartbreaking one to see begin. But G2 putting up good numbers, good performance. You walk into the Lion's Den, you better be prepared. You just played VP on Nuke, and you came out the victors.
Yeah, they got to be happy with that. VP obviously struggling. I still don't necessarily think it was the greatest gamble for G2 to take. You can see VP is a step above on this map still versus some of their others in their pool, but a great win from G2, a great read. We're going to hear from the analyst desk next.
Vodafone presents the post-match.
Perhaps a gamble veto, but G2 do indeed find themselves the win. I think there's a lot of interesting conversations to be had here, gents. I've got Chad and Yanko hanging out with me. First things first, we didn't get to talk about the Nuke veto at length. Did you feel like it was a bit of a misstep from G2 to give VP that way in?
I think it was, looking at how the first half was going, right? You could see that VP was very comfortable. They lost the pistol, but still would, win the first gun round. And then after a very short back and forth, they ascertained control of the economy. You can see in some of the executes, that was VP doing what they're comfortable with. You see Snacks, they smoke off doors for him, and then he sneaks out through the smoke with a pop flash and gets the kill on the guy upper, and basically takes over upper while his team is, creating space on yards. So it really was VP doing their own thing. Unfortunately for them, they lose the second half pistol as well, and every time they would get reset. So I think all in all, VP had a better T side. It's just that in the second half, G2 won all the crucial rounds.
But I mean, when you get 9 rounds on T-side Nuke, Chad, sure. I mean, I don't want to say the word surely, but 9 rounds T-side Nuke.
Here's the issue we have. The data isn't in yet, Alex. This is the new Nuke. We don't know if it's CT or T side, and now the teams practicing the map all the time, they have a much better understanding than us. Unfortunately, we don't get to watch the practice games or even hear about it. Unfortunately.
Like, we need that in our lives.
I love watching
in addition to all the Counter-Strike that we already watched, Chat.
I live, breathe,
We're not
eat,
machines.
sleep,
Well,
drink
one guy
Counter-Strike.
is.
My point is, we don't know if it's a CT or T map, right? I'm sure someone out there has
It's
the
a CT map,
information.
Chad.
We don't know, Yanko.
Yes,
we have
we
to
do
wait
know,
and
Chad.
see. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, Alex? And my
What
point...
has changed so much that will make it a team map?
Right, we'll be here all day.
Look,
While you guys talk about this...
You wanted counterpoints, Alex? There's your counterpoint.
I love it,
How
I
can
do.
we not know?
Let's continue this conversation. First, we're going to check in with our winners. Let's go ahead and jump into an interview with one of your winners.
And just like that, I'm standing down here with the man with the big green gun, Kenny S. Talk to me about it, man. What just happened?
We just won against VP, so it's great.
Beaten VP on home soil, obviously, but you had quite a monstrous performance. Talk to me a little bit about the game.
Well, Nuke, as everybody knows, Nuke is a new map. We didn't have much time to practice it, but we always felt confident on the map in the past. And yeah, we feel confident on the map despite the fact that we are a bit lacking of practice on the map. And individually, it's a map I always loved. So yeah, I think it went good despite the fact that our city side was a bit shaky.
I suppose that happens, right? But I think what the real question here is you guys have seemingly been, I don't want to say a group stage team lately, but, here we go. What do you have to say about that?
That's true. I mean, we tend to fail a bit during the quarterfinal. I mean, the playoff overall. It's a new thing for us because we used to be better in playoff than we were in group stage. Passing the group stages is always super important. So I don't know how to explain it, but if we go through the group stage this time, I'm confident.
Well, you guys have your work cut out for you. You're going to be moving forward to play Fnatic in a Fnatic that maybe a little lagged, maybe not. They're just arriving today. Shouldn't take away from the matchup at all. What is the mindset going into that one?
Well, this matchup is really difficult for us. It's a team that we don't necessarily like to play. Online, when we play them online, it has been quite difficult. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that's a tough matchup for us, but we can do it.
The last absolute question I have for you is this. How do you feel about this Krieg when it comes out in the matches?
Well, I'm pretty happy because NBK is pretty comfortable and pretty good with the Krieg. So, I'm happy that I'm feeling confident. Like, I mean, he's doing his skills and sometimes he's really impress us with the Krieg. So as long as he's performing well with, doesn't matter which weapon is it. NBK always love to play with that weird weapons anyway.
Well, if it's not broken, you can't necessarily fix it. Congratulations, Kenny. Good luck going up against Fnatic later. I'm going to go ahead and kick it back over to Alex.
Thank you so much. Yes, okay, Stunny had to do it. You started the conversation again, and of course we get some eye rolls from everyone here at the desk. The less than standard weapon choices of the Frenchman, the natural born killer.
He is right. If it works, hey, you can use it. But if he's not getting the kills, then obviously it's hindering the team. So that works. That happens with
That's
every
just
weapon.
long story
So
short.
you agree with the Nuke pick?
No, but the Nuke pick, what I think
But
it
it's
does is, teams who may have been considering playing it against G2 might want to steer clear now. I know it was a victory that was scrappy. It was definitely a scrappy game. But however, it's against a VP who we always say, you know, a pretty good Nuke team. So that is definitely something that is a positive for this this side.
Yeah, and just to kind of quickly get everyone's heads around the brackets as well, just because they were doing a new format here, GSL. I know you kind of getting your head around Swiss, now into GSL. So just go ahead and breathe it all in. Quickly explaining, the losers now you'll find in that lower bracket. So Order, after conceding their loss versus FaZe Clan, are going to be meeting the Ninjas in Pajamas, who fell to North. Sorry, Chad, you seem to have a point.
We just need to say all the best of ones are done now, Alex. We're on to best of threes for the rest of the tournament.
Yes, indeed, that's it. We're all over. No more one-map wonders. However, you can see that the victors of those are going to be meeting in best of threes. This is for the, well, this is Group A, B you're looking at, excuse me. And then now you're looking, just keep switching. This is Group A. That was Group B. SK Astralis is up next. We're going to be finishing off Group A tonight with 2 best of threes, both SK Astralis, and you get to see Team Liquid versus Cloud9 tonight as well. Ooh, goddamn. Looking at that lower bracket of Vanguard meeting Renegades,
Live right now.
Tyloo. That's going on right now on the B stream. In case you weren't aware, there is a secondary stream. You just add a little B to the URL you are on Twitch with. That's nice and
Loser
easy.
is out, Alex. Whoever loses that game
Yeah.
is out of the tournament. Nice little one-day trip to Katowice and back home.
Hey
See ya.
man, at least
Thanks for coming.
At least it's not like it used to be, where you could go out losing 2 best of ones, right?
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
real cut.
Now you can lose more maps and still be out.
The feels, man. Right in the feels.
Yeah, we've all been there. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's leave this one for now, because we are going to be taking our breath and taking a break, because when we do come back, we've got a best of 3. SK Astralis, what a treat for day 1. We'll get to see the Brazilians and the Astralis Danes battling it out in a potential 3-map wonder. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Intel Extreme Masters.